listening to the best podcast on the planet.
Okay, so today's episode, we're going to ask a very important question. What if what you thought to be true were actually false? You've gone your entire life just absolutely knowing that this fact is real, and it's not. How soon would you want to know? That's today's topic. That's what we're going to be talking about today. We have the lovely and talented Dale right there. Say hi, Dale.
Hi.
Very nice. Dale is back with us. Holly, of course, is with us again.
Hello.
And more importantly, you're here. And we really appreciate you coming into our collective living rooms. So today, what is it that you thought was true? So tell me one thing right now that you just absolutely knew to be true, and we'll run it by and see if it was actually true or false. One thing.
You want to go first, Holly, or me?
You can go first.
The moon landing.
Of course it's true.
I just know they did it. I just know they
See? That's exactly what happened. They started to
I
film
know
the
they
moon
did it on
landing.
a sound stage. I know they did.
You know what's sad is there are a lot of people that actually still think that it was fake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was
And it is
definitely not.
it's absolutely ridiculous to think that the moon landing was fake. There's no way it was fake. No way at all. It was one. We all know that it was absolutely 100% real. And that's the end of that. All right. What about you, Miss Holly? One thing.
Well, I was gonna go with the moon thing because
Really? You were?
So thanks for taking.
I'm sorry.
All right. What about
Sorry.
what about the Earth being flat?
Yeah, that was gonna be my next one because
Sure it was.
however many years ago, people legitimately believed that it was flat, and
Yeah.
then
Yeah,
now we're going back to people now that legitimately believe it again. Then they're
See-
calling the flat earthers or whatever.
Flat Earthers.
Yeah.
Stupid.
These are
I don't
two
know.
wonderful examples to get this started because these are two things that are absolutely easily provable. It would take you 5 minutes, about 5 minutes of going on the internet, and you can find out complete, total proof that the moon landing was real and that the Earth is round.
But yeah, there's people
just-
that don't believe it and think that all of
Exactly.
that information is false and
Exactly.
or faked in some fashion.
Yeah, and so what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about some of the things that are more like just common knowledge, just, everybody knows that. Of course that's real. Of course that's true. Is it? Maybe so. All right.
Is 2 plus really 4?
It depends.
Are the same people that believe in the earthers or the flat earthers?
Right.
Are the same ones that are the vaxxers or the anti-vaxxers?
Oh, the anti-vaxxers.
You know what? That's a really good one. So why don't we jump off with that one? Go ahead. You had something you wanted to throw in there?
No, I was just
Me?
asking.
Oh, there you go.
Huh?
She has a kid. She should be. You two have kids. You should be more worried about the vaxxers than me.
I absolutely.
I've had
know.
my flu shot before a couple times.
I have very mixed feelings about all that because I went through, I have a 3.5-year-old. So when she was a baby, I had issues and I did a whole lot of research, which is.
And what did you find out? What was the conclusion you came to?
Anxious, and I didn't come to conclusion, and we ended up getting her vaccinated probably when she was
Yeah,
like a
there you
year
go.
old. It was a little bit later than normal, which is kind of what my conclusion that I came to. Shh, Don't tell them.
I would have did the same thing if it means anything to you. I would have had them went ahead and had it done.
I had it done, but it was just later than recommended.
The main doctor that did the study that linked autism to vaccinations, he was prosecuted for falsifying his study.
Yeah, because he got a whole. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So-
But then there's also some other things, and I don't want to go into that because it honestly winds me up and makes me very nervous because there's so much conflicting evidence.
No.
So let's not go.
Vaccinations don't cause autism, and that's the
No,
end
I'm
of
not
it
talking
right there.
about autism.
That's it.
There's other things. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
So let's
Okay.
not-
All
not
right.
going-
See, this is going to be good.
So here's another thing. Have you heard of the lizard people thing on the
Yes.
internet?
Yes. That
So you're getting excited by
the
this.
thing was, I believe that President Obama, if I'm not mistaken, was
As apparently a
actually
lizard person?
he was reptilian and he was a shapeshifter. That was one of
Yes.
the big things.
A shapeshifter.
I
of course-
saw like an actual statistic, like a real statistic that 4% the population or those that
Yeah.
were surveyed legitimately believe that lizard people rule the world underneath it all.
Now, apparently,
The sewers and stuff.
if you're watching this on video right now, apparently Dale has sunk into the shadows to protect his identity so that he doesn't get there.
Is that
Go. There we
Sorry.
go. That's much better. Now,
Sorry.
Now he's just talking to us from his evil lair as he's kind of taking over the world. Yeah. Here's what's interesting: is anything that you tell anybody. Anything that you put out in public, between 3 and 4% of the population will believe anything. There's actually a group of people that believe that all birds are extinct, and what we are seeing. What we are seeing are drones that are put there by the government to spy on us.
Birds aren't real.
Actually,
is it real?
There's a birdsaren'treal.com. Go check it out. I am not kidding.
Holly,
it's legit.
What? Why do you know that website?
Because it's a big joke. It was a bunch of students that did it as a a ploy to show you how how people can be shifted anyway in their thinking.
Right.
They have this entire website, and apparently, if you have a website, then
you're legitimate.
No.
No. If you have a podcast, you're legitimate.
That even better. But you know what? They even have merchandise, and that they still regularly sell it. And so this was like several years ago. They were like marketing students, and it was part of a class thing, trying to see how many people they could win over to this idea. And so the website is still there, and they're still selling product. That's why it's still there, is because people still buy this stuff. So it's actually really funny if you want to go read it.
Apparently, Dale has had too many vaccinations.
I'm sorry. I don't have such a lovely background as you guys. I'm trying to make it look nice.
I mean, I have a cow behind me.
I'll leave it.
It's fine. Yeah,
Holly is, and it's not the entire cow. She's gone part Godfather. It's just the cow head.
It's just the head.
It's just the cow head.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think the duck is fully there, though. Yeah,
okay. All right, here's the other thing. Several years ago, Dale, you may remember this because it was going on strong in Florida. I can't remember the year, but I think it was in the early 2000s. There was an acai berry juice called Monavi.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I remember.
You remember this?
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
And so this stuff, for those that are unfamiliar with it, because I found out it hasn't really reached up here. I'm in Virginia, so it nobody really seems to know what that was. But it was a network marketing scam where pyramid scheme, exactly. And the situation was that this acai berry juice that was handpicked by the indigenous people of South America. Sure it was. You would buy it, spend about $30 for a bottle of this. And of course, the bottle was very fancy. It looked like a wine bottle. The label looked like a wine bottle, the whole thing.
Yes.
And they said that if you drank about an ounce of this stuff a day, even twice a day, morning and night, that it would cure everything from toenail fungus to brain cancer and everything in between. Right?
Didn't it taste like liquid feet too? It tasted.
It was not good. And I had so many people come up and say, you should sell this stuff. And it's like, no,
I'm good.
No, I really shouldn't. I'm a professional and I have a reputation to uphold. So, thanks. But at the time this stuff was popular, I wasn't in radio. I was doing financial planning. I was a financial advisor, and I had a client that told me if I didn't go into business with them in this Monavi crap, that they were going to not do any of the financial strategies. They were not going to do business with me. And I'm on the phone.
Okay, bye.
Yeah, I'm on the phone. I said, "What are you joking? I mean, this is a joke, right?" No, I'm very serious. I'm like, okay, well, we're done. I'm not going to sell this stuff. We're done. But that was
go ahead.
But that was the stuff, man. Do you know if it's still for sale? I
don't know.
Bet you they have a website.
I think it started being.
Did you Google it?
You can go to grocery stores and get that acai juice now.
Yeah.
You don't have to have.
Yeah.
It wasn't a special what do you say?
Prescription?
No.
Proprietary.
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 Yes.
It wasn't, but that one was, and I remember they were going to advertise on that little station we were on at one time.
Oh, that's right. I did.
But they couldn't say the name. They had to say like special elixir or something
That's
like that.
right.
Yeah,
I
remember
forgot
that?
about that. Yeah,
Yeah.
they wanted to buy advertising at the beginning. Well, that's when we first got started into radio. That's right. Okay. All right. So yeah, what are you finding?
No, sorry, I googled it.
Yeah.
The description: Mona V is a defunct American multi-level marketing company that manufactured and distributed products made from blended fruit juice concentrates, powders, and purees. The company was subject to several controversies.
Yeah. Hey, to my client that made that choice a few years ago, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that that's the direction you went in.
Oh, they made their money and got out. I'm telling you.
What?
No, they went out of business in 2015. The Utah-based company defaulted on a $182 million note.
Ooh.
Whoops.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So
How many products do you see like that the people are? I know people have to make money, and I understand that. But the ones that like they want to help people.
Yeah.
But the only way you can get help is to go through that network marketing. You can't go. If they wanted to help you, they have it at a good price, and everybody
make it more accessible.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Let's keep going down that vein. Do you guys have you ever heard the thing that if you take an ounce or two of apple cider vinegar, it'll keep you from getting a cold, flu. It'll solve your stomach problems. Again,
I was doing that for a while. I mean,
it's good for you, but it's not about to cure stuff. Like
I wasn't doing it to cure.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, it's good for cooking. What did we make? We made some kind of something that we cooked pork chops in. It was really good.
Now that's good.
So,
I wasn't doing it for like those things you mentioned. I was doing it, but it does help with your digestion. I believe it does. But
no.
Okay.
I have talked to 3 gastroenterologists, doctors that actually.
Dr. Pepper, does that count as a doctor, Seth? I'm sorry to tell you that.
Yes, it does. Yes. I talked to Dr. Dre. I talked to Dr. Pepper. And I talked to Dr. Hook. And all 3 of them said... No,
not familiar with that reference, but okay, so...
It's a band from the 70s. Yeah, it's a band from the 70s, Holly.
Okay.
All 3 of legitimate gastroenterologists say that taking apple cider vinegar does nothing for you at all. It has no health benefits at all, other than, and this is a real thing, if you truly believe that something is helping you, there is a psychosomatic effect. It is the placebo effect. So if you believe touching your nose 3 times every day is going to keep you from getting a cold, some part of the population, it will actually help boost their immune system. But it's really good to cook with. It's a great thing to cook pork chops with.
In fact, I recommend it better than regular cooking vinegar. Oh, no.
But don't drink it. This is what.
You know what? I did try it for a sore throat. No joke, it did help. But I think it was a mixture of like apple cider vinegar and cayenne pepper, which I'm pretty sure just burnt the whatever bacteria was in my throat.
And just for the record, I didn't use it. I would never use it straight. It's too much acid. I would have it in like a couple ounces of warm water.
Like a mix it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I did it for a sore throat, and it did.
I'd mix it with scotch, and it helped me feel much better.
Well, that's what it kind of burnt away my sore throat for a little while, but I'm like, couldn't some kind of alcohol do the same thing?
Plus, it's bad for your teeth if you do it straight. You're not supposed to. Eat the enamel on your teeth.
But really great cooking with. It made a very good something that we made. I don't know, Ralph made it.
One of these days we ought to do a podcast of our favorite recipes.
Ooh.
Yeah, we can take this in the kitchen. That'll be cool.
Yeah, we could do that. We could
make them all at the same time.
That's an interesting idea.
I'd have to have Ralph come and join me.
Okay.
You can put hot pockets on you can put hot pockets in the microwave.
And now we're very carefully putting the ravioli in the bowl and placing it in the microwave. Make sure you cover it with something so it doesn't splatter. It's very important.
I love pizza rolls.
There was one other that I was going to mention. I can't remember what it was. Oh, okay. I'm really touching on something here. Okay. This is big here. This is very, very big here. I'm in Lynchburg, Virginia. It is considered to be the rhinestone of the Bible Belt. And what I'm about to say is going to annoy, if not piss off, a lot of people.
Oh no.
Are you ready?
Hmm?
Essential oils.
I know.
Dude, you're like, now, not the network marketing aspect, no, but there's this one for migraines that I put on it works, man. I'm telling you.
What's in it?
Whatever, it feels kind of like Ben Gay type stuff, but it feels really good on and it helps get rid of, it like heats up, kind of like,
okay,
Ben Gay, but it's in a little roller. I'm not saying all of them do.
If it helps you relax, then that releases some of the pressure in your blood vessels, and that can alleviate a migraine.
Sure.
But if you take anything and put it up there, and it's going to help with that. Okay.
I can't speak for the other essential oils. I can't, but that one migraine one I can speak for.
The only one that I'll tell you actually works. I know for a fact this works. My essential oil is bacon grease, and that crap makes everything taste better. You can cook popcorn in it. You can cook eggs in it.
Popcorn's good in that.
You can do everything with bacon grease, and that is awesome. Okay, Miss Holly, I see that look on your face.
I'm just laughing at the bacon grease thing. But no, I've used a few essential oils, but I've never had any kind of like ground shaking, like, oh my gosh, it fixed everything. Like, a lot of people say that, and I try it, or like I've worked in offices where they diffuse everything.
Yeah, it's just relaxation.
Like, you go between offices, and I'm like, what does it smell? Like, they're not. I don't know.
If you use it for the fact of, you know what, that smells nice and I like it, then more power to you. But if you think essential oils in a diffuser is going to cure your cancer,
who would say that?
Dude.
There's some people that, like, I've mentioned it and someone's like, oh, have you tried this essential oil? And I'm like, no.
Every essential oil I've heard of is like for relaxation.
Yeah, it's just for smell.
Purpose, you know what I mean?
We have to use a lot of humidifiers up here, and we found one that you can diffuse essential oils, and it's nice because it gives it's the humidity that we need, and then it also makes it smell nice. But I'm not about to count on it for anything outside of that.
I think Seth should put him in his man cave with those flowers, and it would like.
Oh, maybe you can diffuse it in your fireplace.
Yeah, in that man cave. Yeah. Diffusing.
What are you doing down there? I'm diffusing.
I'm
diffusing. Can you smell the lavender?
Oh, Sammy.
Love it. So those are some of the main ones. I've got a list of a whole bunch of other ones. You guys want to go through some of these other ones?
I'd love to hear some.
Now that we've completely alienated the entire audience. I believe in essential oils, and I used to drink Mona Via Cyberry juice, and I don't think the earth is round. I'm not listening to your podcast.
And I ain't getting a vaccination at all.
You know what's funny though? I was actually thinking about this the other day. It's how now, 2020 and all this, like we start looking back 20 years ago at all the things that we believed and how we were like, oh, that was dumb.
Right.
Why did we do that or whatever? But I'm like, why do we think we're so well informed right now? They're like, 20 years from now, we're going to not believe all the stuff that people, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, is it just a time thing? And I just feel like every year we feel like we're smarter and we're all these things. So I'm like, really?
We have the interwebs now.
Really? Yeah.
We don't need to know anything. We just need to know where to go look for it.
Yeah, it's like there's all these movements and all these things. And I'm like, but really, we're not that much smarter than we were 20 years ago.
We're not that much smarter as a society than when we were throwing rocks at each other and trying to figure out how fire worked. Okay? Zog. Zog wants social media. No, you don't. No, you really don't. Okay. True or false? We only use 10% of our brain.
True.
No, I don't think that's true.
Not true. Not true.
I do. It's my truth, okay? It's my truth.
Are you saying you only use 10% of your brain?
That's all I've got. That's all I've got.
That's all I got left.
Well, the rest of it shut down.
Over here, nothing. But if I get a dent on this part over here, my hair just ain't go. No, it says at any one time, the brain is you're using all your brain all the time, but the brain is task dependent. So depending on what you're doing, more of your brain is being used than the other, but ultimately every region is used every day.
Yeah.
There it is. Every region.
But you can destroy brain cells, guys. Like you can destroy them.
How?
Okay.
Let me know.
Wait a minute.
Was that on the list?
Hang on. Let me scroll through here because that is on the list. Let me find it. All right. While I'm looking for it, is there a definition between left brain and right brain? Is there a difference between them?
I've heard of that before, and then I hear different things. That's again, I'm like, is this actually true? Because
No.
I've been hearing different conflicting things.
Research shows that there is no division, not difference, but division between the talents of each hemisphere of your brain. The left brain can learn right brain skills and vice versa. So
Yeah, because there are like
is.
some people like that are creative, they only use their right brain.
Yeah.
People that are more not,
All right, let me.
Seth, why aren't you wearing a white lab coat today?
Well, I know I should be, shouldn't I?
You should.
What are you saying? You don't?
You're proving no.
You don't like the? You
You're
don't like
dispelling these.
You don't like the Hawaiian shirt? What's the matter with you?
Huh. Gives me flashbacks. Sorry.
Yeah, flashbacks.
That's what it causes.
So
Okay.
that's not a Tommy Bahama. That's his cheap brother Timby Bahama that you got.
It's all right. Does alcohol kill brain cells? That's what we were just talking about. Does alcohol
I wasn't
kill and
referring to
destroy
alcohol.
brain cells?
I was referring to more harder drugs.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Well, heavy users, drug users, and alcoholics, brain cells are not killed.
Oh, really? Do they just?
They're damaged.
All right.
They're damaged.
Drink up, Dale.
This is Fresca, by the way.
Yeah, sure it is. Brain cells are damaged but not killed. So there's that. All right, I had one for you, Dale, because I know you you have a sensitivity to MSG, don't you?
Yeah, seriously, I
Ooh,
do.
me too. Yeah.
He's gonna tell us it's fake.
There's no scientific proof at all that MSG causes headaches. None.
Then what is it? Is it all the high sodium or?
It could be the salt that restricts your blood flow and causes tension or so forth. That is possible. But the MSG itself, here it is, no scientific proof, just anecdotal evidence, which means I got a headache after I ate Chinese food. Well, it may have been because your spouse hit you in the head with a frying pan. That's all. But there's no evidence implicating MSG as a cause of headaches.
Well, what about when after eating Chinese food, you really do get sleepy? Like, that's a thing.
Well, that's because you've eaten too much. All the blood is in your stomach, and your brain is like, well, we might as well shut down because we're not doing anything from this point on.
But what about when you're hungry 2 hours later from the Chinese food? You're always hungry,
Depends on if you eat a lot of the rice and the noodles. Those are high in carbohydrates. Carbohydrates burn off faster, and you end up being hungry sooner. If you eat meat and veggies, a lot of protein and low on carbohydrates, you're fuller longer. How about
I
that?
feel like that whole rainbow thing should be coming across the string. The more you know.
Gosh, that's old too. Gosh.
Yeah, but she
But I do
remembers that.
remember
So,
I do.
Dale, I've come to the conclusion that these podcasts are more for you and I just to really feel old.
I guess so. I guess so.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you, Holly. I want you to know that you're making a real impact on our lives.
I'm just throwing out a lot of honesty. That's all.
Okay, one more. We'll keep going until we run out of time here.
Sure.
We want to keep an eye on time.
Just make my whole life a lie. Go ahead. Keep going.
Was Napoleon short?
Well, define short.
For his
Was he-
age, I mean, for his time.
Well, I
was he
always saw the
considered-
paintings of him with his hand in his shirt.
Right.
And he's
Some say
scratching
that
his
was because
chest.
he had an ulcer and he was putting pressure on it, or even a hernia, and he was putting pressure on it.
He should
It's
drink
a
apple
weird
cider
spot for
vinegar.
a
That would help.
hernia.
Yeah.
No, I've had one right here.
Hernia.
In your
He did it.
chest?
He
Yeah,
did
my
have a high. It's one of them old things,
okay.
Holly. You wouldn't understand.
Sorry. No, I thought hernias were more for like
Wait a minute.
stomach areas.
Well, you
Well,
get
yeah,
those
this
two.
is like up here in my upper.
He had it.
You put your hand on your chest.
No,
I was
this
thinking,
is
like,
my
okay.
chest. This is why
Yeah.
I don't want to say.
Didn't you have an operation on it, Seth? You had to.
Yeah.
It was like you could poke it in and out. And
Yeah,
stuff.
Ew,
before
gross.
I had the surgery when we were doing the morning show
Oh,
there
yeah, I
at LKF.
Yeah.
And before then, if I laughed real hard or I did something strenuous, the hernia would pop
Or
out.
you ate too much.
Or if
Yeah,
I
you
ate too much, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I just push on it and it would go and pop
Yeah.
back in. Yeah. So I had that fixed. Okay, so the question was for his time frame. Okay, so back in when the Napoleonic era. Okay. So was he considered short at the time? Was he shorter than the average people?
No.
No,
well,
those French guys back then were always short.
I don't know. I actually don't know. I've heard the Napoleon syndrome.
Right,
I don't know if
right.
that's actually
Little man
like
syndrome.
yeah,
Right.
the correct.
That's where they got wee wee from, because he's short. Wee.
Oh, sacre bleu.
Wee wee.
No, I don't
That
know.
is well. Everybody start talking like this, no? No, he was 5'6", and
That
so
wasn't short.
It's taller than I am, so.
he was actually
Well, maybe it is short.
slightly above the average height for a Frenchman at the time.
Mm-hmm.
For
Yeah,
a
because
Frenchman.
you. Okay, so we are living in a 100-year-old house, and legitimately, like the old doors, like the door frames, are really
Yeah.
short. I mean, they're
Yeah.
not short for me because I'm short, but generally, like they just seem short for the
Ralph has to
average.
duck his head.
Sometimes, yeah, like it's really short. So I
Ralph's
don't know.
not that
I just
tall.
think that's weird. No,
How
he's
tall
not.
is Ralph? He's
Like
like
5'10".
5'6".
He's 5'10".
Ralph's
5'6".
No.
Recently, we were at Monticello, which, of course, was Thomas Jefferson's place up in Northern
Oh yeah, I've
Virginia.
been there. Yeah.
And have you really? Mm-hmm. It's awesome.
Yeah.
They put in a lot of new things. There's a game room and a disco, right? And they've in the basement. They put in.
Did
the
you see
disco.
Wheezy's room?
Huh?
Did you see
No,
Wheezy's room?
no, not
Oh, not George Jefferson.
not
Thomas
George Jefferson.
Oh,
Thomas Jefferson. That's from a TV show, Holly, called The Jeffersons.
Oh, I've heard of that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Wow, it just keeps getting better and better.
they
Anyway,
just did it. She ought to know about. They just did a redo of it. It was a live show. They just did on ABC.
I missed
They had a whole new cast playing the Jeffersons.
yeah, moving on up. So when you go running out of time, upgrade. Okay, no, hang on. My video said that we were running out of time. Anyway, so we only have 9 minutes and 50 seconds left in this podcast, which we're going to wrap it up. Anyway, in Monticello, if you notice all the furniture, it's really small. Thomas Jefferson's bed was small.
Yeah.
You know,
How small was it?
it was so small. But yeah, I mean, you look at people at the time, and we have obviously grown in stature, and that's because of our health, and that's because of our nutrition, and all kinds of. It's McDonald's.
I was going to say, really? What?
All right, so seeing as how we only have a few minutes left in this meeting, this podcast, we may take this and move it to a second one. What do you think? Making part 2, do this again for the next pod and just explore some of these others that we haven't gotten to yet?
You got more?
I've got a
You got
ton more. I've got like 30 more. All right, one more here.
Wow.
Is it safe to go swimming right after you eat a big meal?
I actually heard
No,
that
'cause you
that
get
is.
cramp.
No, I've heard that that's fine. That's not true.
What do you say, Dale? You say
You're beseeching my mother's grave, because she told me that not to go in till you let it digest.
right? Nope, doesn't cause cramps.
Yeah, my grandfather said that happened to him. He said he ate and then he jumped and he almost drowned. But I'm like, but that could have been from something else.
Everybody knows something. You know, one time I
No.
ate a frog, and it made me hoppy after. Anyway, it says that eating and swimming, this does not increase the risk of cramps. Alcohol is actually the biggest risk increaser in swimming.
That's probably what it is all the time.
So if you've been, drinking, you don't want to go swimming.
Didn't we talk about a guy with an alligator and alcohol or something?
Oh,
Yeah.
he was meth.
Yeah. Oh,
That
meth.
was one of
Okay.
our previous
Sorry.
ones that we did
Yes.
meth. But a full stomach can make you a bit short of breath.
Ooh.
Have you ever eaten so much that you're having trouble breathing?
Sure.
Probably ate too much.
That's when you know perhaps I've overdone this just a tad. I've eaten too much. So there it is. All right. So these are just a handful of these things that are what would you call these? Wives' tales?
Yeah, old wives' tales.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. I've got some more if you want to explore. Let's do that. All right. We're going to we're going to take a break now. If you've got an old wives' tale that you want to know whether or not it's true, you want us to do a little looking into it, and then we'll do our next episode. We'd be happy to do that. All you got to do is send an email to SethMilaMedia@gmail.com, and make sure you tell all your friends and family that a brand new episode of the podcast drops every Tuesday at 3:30 Eastern, wherever your favorite podcasts are sold. And remember, this podcast comes with a money-back guarantee. If you don't like it, you don't have to pay for it. Huh?
Sounds fair.
It's no, okay.
Okay, that's all right. Anyway, so next time, our next podcast, we're going to get together. We're going to keep talking about this. And oddly enough, I'm getting the feeling we'll probably be in the same clothes.
I'm going to change shirts.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
No, you're not. Until then, thank you for listening to the best podcast on the planet.